Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Honorable Member.
Yeah, Speaker sir, I just want a ruling. I was stopped while speaking. Under what rule that I was stopped by speaking when I was speaking on the calling attention? I want a ruling from the Speaker on what rule I have been stopped from speaking when I in the last resolution, I think, calling attention. So I want a ruling, Speaker sir.
Second postponed, calling attention. Shri Crusulva, Vijay Sardesai, Carlos Ferreira, Alish Lawrence.
Not you. Called.
I'll answer.
Answer it.
Speaker sir, I rise to reply to the calling attention motion moved by my colleagues. The survey in the state of Goa had first commenced in the year 1968 to 72. As per the Goa Land Revenue Code and the records of right, Form 1 and 14 plus the survey plans were prepared. In fact, our state is the only state having attributes such as a cart track, footpath, road and bridge, railway line and station, nullas, etc., being duly depicted on the survey plans with proper symbol. In fact, there are 43 types of symbols duly mentioned on the survey plan. Over the period of years, people have constructed houses on lands which have been planned or unplanned. Thus, it is incorrect to suggest that this problem is on account of survey department to show these excesses on survey maps. Thus, the survey plan cannot be used as a tool to reflect excesses and roads that have cropped up post-1972. The Goa Regulation of Land Development and Building Construction Act 2008 and the Goa Land Development and Building Construction Regulation 2010 has sufficient powers to take care of part of this problem, including acquisition of land for providing access, but however has not been completely able to tackle the problem. Speaker sir, further, Government of Goa has enacted the Goa Munkars Court Act 1966 in order to protect and safeguard the traditional access roads existing in the state of Goa. Although there are 213 pending cases, which is not an alarming figure, but it certainly shows that there lies a problem. Under the said legislation, the applicants are approaching the Taluka Mamladars under Section 4 of the Mamladar Court Act for redressing their grievances regarding blockage of traditional access road. The Mamladar, after receiving the application, conduct summary proceedings in the matter, obtain factual reports from the Talati of concerned village, and pass appropriate order after considering all the material facts and documentary evidence relied upon by the parties in the matter. The Revenue Department is also concerned with the grant of conversion sanad for conversion of plots under Section 32 of Goa LRC 1968. Before granting the conversion sanad, verification is done on whether there is a proper access to property sought to be converted. Similarly, reports from TCP are obtained and wherein a check is maintained for adequate access, without which technical clearance approvals are not issued to properties proposed for construction. Apart from the Mamladar Court Act, the revenue authorities are not empowered under any other acts to take action against blocking of traditional pathway roads in the state. There is an option for aggrieved persons to approach competent civil courts for relief. Due to the complexities of the problem, the matter needs to be examined at various levels by various departments. Therefore, we are exploring the possibility for bringing an amendment to relevant act or to come up with a special legislation if required. Looking at the complexity of this issue, it would be appropriate to constitute a committee with members of Revenue, TCP, PWD, Panchayat, Municipality, DSLR, who would then suggest a solution to mitigate such problem.
Honorable members.
Speaker sir, it is good that the minister feels that this is a problem. He says it's a part of the problem, but we are interested to solve the whole problem. And he talks about a comprehensive solution, which talks about constituting a committee of revenue, TCP, PWD, Panchayat, municipality, DSLR, and even local representatives to solve this issue. Speaker sir, it is a fact that the issue of road accesses to houses is existent in Goa. There are thousands of houses which lack motorable access and they rely on kacha roads. This has brought this fear and anxiety, Speaker sir, and it is incumbent upon us to redress or to address their concerns. Speaker sir, a rightful road access to many properties is not clearly marked. Sometimes it is at the behest of the landlord who wants to make some properties landlocked. And this is causing hardship to undue hardship to the homeowners. Speaker sir, there is a Kerala High Court judgment 6384 of 2015 which says that once a property assumes the character, say a road or a path, having the potential of being a public utility, it ceases to have any exclusivity, for the individual interest is to yield to the common good. Speaker sir, this is now gone into the courts and the courts also have ruled in this. So I also request the Honorable Minister to spearhead a statewide exercise to identify properties that are landlocked due to lack of proper road access. Speaker sir, town planning has come up with regional plan. Regional plan has not shown roads in so many properties. Now when you come up with a house, they say, "Are rasta naach koi lagayla." So I think there should be a thing, and the way the legislations are passed nowadays, I am very happy that our minister is saying that he will bring a legislation for this. Very good. Na zalyar कोण तो भाचो, भाची, भावोजी हांचे खातीर हाडटा हे सर्वसामान्य मनशा खातीर legislation हाडप म्हाका दिसता स्पीकर सर गरजेचें to provide an equitable access road to everyone. And Speaker sir, this is not only about fear and anxiety. If you have an access, it positively impacts our economy. Chief Minister in the morning talked about happiness index. So access जर सगळ्याक आसलो जाल्यार म्हाका दिसता enhanced connectivity can stimulate economic activity. It can attract investments and uplift the standard of living of the people, which is adding to your happiness index. So as a result of which I accept that the minister is taking this with interest, and once sometime or the other a legislation should come out for this.
Carlos Ferreira.
Honourable Speaker, we have raised this calling attention because it's of utmost importance that we recognize the right of access as a fundamental right. If you don't we have access to internet, we have access to education, we have access to schools, but if you don't have access to come out of your house or to go back to your house, this is a major problem which will affect not only the village, the peace, and it will also affect the future of those people over there. The problem of the access which we see is mostly these lands through which the access is going is of the landlords or of a relative or of a neighbor. And this is where the dispute comes. Even when we want to propose development so as to give them a footpath or an access, NOC does not come easily. So if we want to allow people to enjoy the full fruits of the right to life, then we must allow them to have access to their plots. Sometimes, generally, the poor people get affected, and they are the ones who don't have this access. It's a welcome step that the Honourable Minister has said that he'll bring an amendment, but I have one suggestion. If you can keep it open so that people can put claims, so that whoever has a right or claims an access, so that sometimes, you know, access should not be cutting through the middle of somebody's property. You can always provide an access by the side. And this will be clarity for the purpose of development, whether you have a 3 meters road or you have a 6 meters road, then you know exactly. Because we have today large mega projects coming, with hardly a footpath, but they suddenly show that they have a 10-meter wide road. So also this kind of imbalance which takes place will be taken care of. But we have brought this because you would remember there is a famous philosopher, Montesquieu, he speaks that the political liberty of a subject is the tranquility of the mind arising from the opinion of each person has of his safety. In order to have his liberty, it is requisite that the government so constituted as one man need not be afraid of another. So if a neighbor keeps somebody else in constant fear of his excess, I have seen people not being able to take their own family members out on stretchers. Even the ambulance is not being allowed to come in. So if this is the kind of situation, it will bring tension in that place. It can bring fights. And I think that we need to bring about this so that we can resolve these issues amicably and bring a relief for all the people. Obliged.
Vegas.
Speaker sir, this is a very important issue. आणि ही पांय वाट म्हणटाय ती आणि एम्ब्युलन्सीक वाट ही सारकी गरजेची. In the last assembly also I had put up that if we can make sure that right to ambulance to each and every house, whether we can do it to the health department the way we are doing the other water connections, similar way if we can find a way right for ambulance. So I think this is something which we have to make sure that immediate we can find a solution to this, and immediate people can give ways. In fact, yesterday itself when we were here in the assembly, I was getting a call just because somebody was not well and some pictures were sent. And that woman had to be carried. बाणाले आमगेले रेबॉर्ड म्हणटाय थिंगा. सो ते बायलेक उबान वताय ते फोटो दाखयले म्हाका. And they were literally telling, बाब आमगे वाटे माशे चोय रस्त करपा जाता जाल्यार. So this is the situation everywhere, and I have seen people taking morn वताय अशें करून हांदाचे उबान काशांव वताय तो कित्याक हांचींतल्यान दोन दुर्गांमध्ये वाट दवरलो आहा. So I think this is something of utmost importance, and I think Honorable Minister must look into this on war footing basis and come up with a sure shot solution where we can identify and give and put out the word that people must give. वाट म्हणटा ती दिवपाकूच जाय. पांय वाट आनी ते पयलीं तें उरना, सायकलेन आनी मोटरसायकलेन आतां उरना. पांय वाट म्हणटा ती आनी कांय ना. आतां वाट म्हणटा ती 3 मिटरां वाट मिनिमम दिवपाकूच जाय, सो दॅट एन एम्ब्युलन्स कॅन गो. स्पीकर सर, थँक्यू.
Alish Lawrence.
Speaker sir, Zaid properties high. I was discussing with the minister. Minister Mandala ki all the roads, all the excesses are identified and put on the survey plan when the survey plans were first formed. Because sir, only main roads, only footpaths which were available were put. Drainages were not put. Waterways were not put. Roads, there are so many properties which are landlocked, which have no accesses. Thodange gora hai, think access na. We cannot just say that survey plan na mun access na mun. Come with a mechanism. Kitle law enact kele ata. Kitu bill move keli. Em bill kita zaina. We'll put condition, not have a 10-meter road. Minimum 6-meter road, which is required. And let it serve 3-4 properties, not only one property. For individual, dekho na ka. At least for 3-4 houses. Start with the first, that all landlocked properties should have access. Now, you can put conditions. We have absolutely no issues. Minche konage hasha konage bhatanne rost korop and tege bat pete korop, that is not to be excused. आपणागे बाट तेशे आहा. एस त्रास कोन्न हेगे बाटान लाव सब तेक दाखोवपा, तेक बूत शिकोवपा, politically करपाक, no. Genuine cases, I feel that you assure us that you're going to, see that you're going to bring one act, a law which will help people who are in genuinely need. I'm still not demanding anybody for in-person or one person or personal or property or develop kurpa konage property. I'm not asking, I'm on record, Speaker sir. So I want an answer from him. How he's going to help us. This is a long term. We have been given assurance in this house. Ejab will discuss ala house. हाऊस हॅज ऑलरेडी एश्योर्ड अस की आम्ही एक्सेस करतले म्हणून, कितें जाल्यार प्रोविजन करतले म्हणून टावन कंट्री प्लॅनिंगात प्रोविजन करतले म्हणून. कांय प्रोविजन केलें ना. टावन कंट्री प्लॅनिंगांत रिजनल प्लॅनाचे रस्ते देखून सारके आयडेंटिफाय केले ना. 6 मीटर रोड आहे ते 6 मीटर रोड दवरला नाही. ग्राउंडार उणी आहाय. एक फावटी आख्खो रोड दुसरी सर्वे नंबर आहा, एक्सेस दुसरी सर्वे नंबर मेळटा. इट शूड बी डिवायडेड इंटू 2, म्हणजे दोन्ही सायडीन हो रोड हे जावपा जाय आसलो. ऑल डिस्क्रिपन्सीस. So we want a categorical assurance from the minister that he will give. Take your time, no problem. I'm not saying you tomorrow. Munge bat na ma khalding rost diupa. So I just want an assurance from the speaker, from the minister, speaker sir.
Honorable Member G. Tarolkar.
सिरियस इशू आहा ह्यो. कित्याक म्हाजी कॉन्स्टिट्युएन्सी कोस्टल बेल्ट असल्या कारणान हे मुणकास जे आहात पयलींचे तांकां वाटो ना, चलपाक सुद्दां वाटो ना आनी भाटकार एनओसी दिना. हांव म्हणटा सगळ्यांनी 6 मीटर आनी 8 मीटर रोड म्हणटा. हांव म्हणटा 2.5 मीटर सुद्दां रोड, 2 मीटर सुद्दां 1.5 मीटर सुद्दां रोड मेळ्ळा आमच्या लोकांक खूब जालो. 3 मीटर आमच्या थंयसर मेळची ना. 2 मीटर सुद्दां पुरो पांय वाट सुद्दां चलपाक. 3 मीटर जर दिले जाल्यार वेल एंड गूड. पूण थंयसर म्हाका दिसना थंय 3 मीटर मेळटली. पूण सिरियस इशू कित्याक 4 दीस पयलीं मिडियाचेर व्हडले आनी मिडिया कितें करता, बरी इमोशनल म्युजीक घालता आनी अशें इमोशनली सगळ्यांक करतात की आनी पॉयंट आवट सरकाराक आनी आमदारांक करतात आनी कोणाक करनात. कोणे घरां कशीं बांदल्यात, कितें बांदल्यात कोण विचारना. पूण तांकां आयज न्याय दिवपाक जाय आमी. इम्पॉर्टंट गोश्ट आहा म्हाज्या कोस्टल बेल्टाक, तूं आतां जेन्ना लॉ इम्प्लिमेंट करतलो तेन्ना मुणकारांकूच म्हणून करूं नाका. म्हाज्या कोस्टल बेल्टाक फिशरमॅन्स कितलेशेच आहा. हांव पर्सनली एकदां एक इन्सिडंट जालो विजिटाक, सगळो वाडो आख्खो एकठांय जाल्लो. एकट्या भायलो कोण तरी तेणी आख्खो प्लॉटूच घेतलो भाटकारा कडल्यान आनी भाटकारान तांकां इतली पारंपारीक वाट तेंची कितल्या पिड्यांनी फिशरमॅन्स नुस्तेकाक ते व्हडयो वयर दवरताले आनी वाट तेंची आसलेली 150-200 मिटराची वाट ती तेणी कंप्लीट ब्लॉक केली दुरीक घालून. सो कितलेशेच अशे गोश्टी आहात आख्ख्या कोस्टल बेल्टाक. नुस्तेकारांक फिशरमॅन्स आमचे आहात तेंचे वाटो ब्लॉक केल्ले आहात. तो मेन पॉयंट फिशरमॅन्साचो इन्क्लूड करपाचो तुवें. तशेंच गणपती विसर्जनाचे वाट्यो जे दर्याचेर गणपती पावपाक वयतात तेंचे वाट्यो ब्लॉक केल्ले आसात. आनी स्पेशली म्हणटा ते क्रिमेटोरियम्स. कालूच एक इन्सिडंट जालो, ऑनरेबल चीफ मिनिस्टर जाणात, आमचे पयलींच्यान पारंपारीक क्रिमेटोरियम्स आहात तांकां खंयचे नोटिफाय केल्ले ना. पूण तेंचे वाट्यो आहात ते खंय ना खंय ब्लॉक जाल्ले आहात. कोण ना कोण लँडलॉर्ड्स आहात तेंच्यांनी ब्लॉक केला. सो क्रिमेटोरियम फिशरमॅन्सा खातीर आनी गणेश विसर्जना कडेन वाट्यो आहात ते थंयसर प्रायोरिटीचे तेतूनय घालचे तुमी आनी मुणकारांचे. थँक्यू.
Honorable Member Ganesh Gaonkar.
स्पीकर सर, माननीय मंत्र्यांचो जो मनोदय आसा की कमिटी करया, वेगळ्या वेगळ्या डिपार्टमेंटाचे हेजी सोल्युशन काडया, हें वेलकम करता हांव. म्हाजी विनंती आसा की माननीय मंत्र्यांनी उत्तर दिता आसतना 213 केसी पेंडींग आसा म्हणल्या. आतां ह्यो खूब लॉंग पेंडींग केसीस. हेजे सेक्शन 4 ऑफ मामलतदार कोर्ट एक्ट पळय आसा न्ही, हेजेर हें सोल्युशन जायना. त्या खातीर कितें करचें पडटा त्या माननीय मंत्र्यांनी, ह्यो पयलींच्यो केसी ज्यो पळय आसा त्यो केसी डिस्पोज ऑफ करपा लागून हेजेर मेकॅनिझम वर्कआवट करचो पडटलो. म्हजी विनंती आहे माननीय मंत्र्यांक, ज्या प्रमाणे सेक्शन 32 ऑफ गोवा LRC 1968 सनद दिवपाक पळय वापरता न्ही, आनी तेजे नंतर ह्यो केसीस ज्यो आसा त्यो TCP कडेन धाडटा म्हणून. आतां हांगा कितें जाता की बिफोर 2011 तेजी पयलींच्यो ज्यो पळय केसी आसा त्यो माननीय मंत्र्यांनी रेव्हेन्यू कोडा अंडर फायनलायज करपा जाता. त्यो केसी आनी TCP धाडपाची गरज ना. म्हाका दिसता अशें केलें जाय जाल्यार 2011 पयलींच्यो केसी त्या लोकांक रिलीफ मेळटलो. आनी एक लास्ट पॉयंट कितें आसा की अपार्ट फ्रॉम मामलेदार कोर्ट एक्ट, रेव्हेन्यू ऑथॉरिटीक पावर ना म्हणटा आमचे मिनिस्टर साहेब. हांव म्हणटा पावर तूं एक्ट एमेंड कर, मॉडिफाय कर आनी अंडर LRC हे पावर्स म्हणटे मामलेदार कोर्टा एक्ट घेतले जाल्यार लोकांक आमच्या रिलीफ मेळटली आनी हे सगळे प्रॉब्लेम ऑटोमॅटिकली सॉल्व जातले. हितून भितर एक विनंती आसा, जसो आमचो म्हजो कलीग जीत बाब सांगतालो की 1 मीटर 1.5 मीटर वाट दी म्हणून. पूण एक इम्पॉर्टंट पॉयंट आसा, समज एक फॅमिली आसा, एक फॅमिली 1.5 मीटर वाटेन 2 फॅमिली जाल्यार वचूंक शकता. एक गांवांत कशें आसा रावता थंय 15-20 फॅमिली आसता. 15-20 फॅमिली जाल्यार 1.5 मीटर वाट पावना. ताका एटलिस्ट मिनिमम 3 मिटराची वाट आसपा जाय. अशा पद्दतीचे समज आमी केले जायत जाल्यार म्हाका दिसता ह्या लोकां सगळ्यांचो प्रॉब्लेम सॉल्व जातलो. थँक्यू स्पीकर सर.
Honorable member Harish Barkar.
स्पीकर सर, हें खूब गरजेचें आसा कित्याक जो ट्रेडिशनल वाट्यो आसा आमच्यो आयज खूब कडेन लँडलॉक जाल्ल्यो आसा, खूब कडेन तांकां वाट्योच मेळना आनी खूब कडेन जो भाटकार आसा ते मुणकारांक मिन्स वाट दिना. एक नॉर्मल चालती वाट आसता, गाडयो वचपाक मेळना. स्पीकर सर, हो जो एमेंडमेंट आसा हो बेगांच्या बेगीन हाडपाक जाय. आनी दुसरें म्हणजे जेन्ना आमी पळयता आमच्या मतदारसंघानूय आसा, आमच्या मतदारसंघान खूब कडेन अश्यो वाटी आजून पर्यंत मेळिल्ल्यो ना आनी ते खूब मिन्स डिपार्टमेंटाक परत परत अपील करीत आसा, घालीत आसा आनी ज्यो केसीस पेंडींग उरत आसा. स्पीकर सर, आनीक जे सांगपाक सोदता तें म्हणजे एक बामोये शिवेकर म्हणून फॅमिली आसा, तिका ऑलरेडी मिनिस्टराक खबर आसा की तांकां वाट जी आसा ती आजून पर्यंत जाल्ली ना आनी तांकां मिलिटरी हॉस्पिटलाच्या फाटल्यानच्यान जी वाट दिता म्हणून सांगलेली. मात तेजें आजून पर्यंत डिमार्केशन तें सारकें जावंक ना. ते पंचायतीचेर घालता, पंचायत हें करतली म्हणून डिमार्केशन. हांव मागता डिपार्टमेंटा कडेन की तेंच्यांनी समज पंचायत करना जाल्यार PWD कडेन दिवचें आनी तें डिमार्केशन करून घेवचें. कित्याक अशें जाता की जे आमचे लोक आसा तांकां ते 500 फॅमिली आसा थंय रावता तांकां वाट मेळना. अश्यो कितलेशे कडेन आमी जेन्ना वयता तेन्ना कितलेशे कडेन मेळना. बाकीच्या कलिग्जांनी जे सांगलें क्रिमिटोरियमाक लागून आजून पर्यंत खुबशे क्रिमिटोरियमाक वाट ना आनी खुबदां कितें जाता ती आमची हें आमी गाडी व्हरोंक सोदता थंय क्रिमिटोरियमान ते दिना. सो हे बेगांच्या बेगान हें जावचें आनी एमेंडमेंट जें आसा जें करून सगळे गांवच्या लोकांक रिलीफ मेळटलो आनी गोंयचे जे जितले ब्लॉक जाल्ले आसा रस्ते जावं तांकां वाट्यो मेळना ते बेगांच्या बेगान जावचे अशी मागणी करता.
Honorable Minister.
Speaker, sir, I heard the views expressed by honorable members. And we need to basically involve the most important is the TCP department, PW department, and our land survey department. These are the three departments which needs to be involved. I feel if the TCP department head up, they should basically have a ward-wise plan in every village. If you have, and with the TCP department as well as the land survey department, these basically two departments should come together and visit the visit each villages and then and find out the issues. And then do that? They should be done. I think this is one way forward basically to get this.
Honorable Chief Minister for Town Planning will have time for that?
No, it is not a question of minister to have time. No, it is the basically the
department doesn't have time for this.
No, we will see. We all need to get together.
Town planning board wise.
See, this is not a problem that you are only facing. I am also facing in my constituency. Also, the same problem is there. Good. So that's what what I suggest. It will be forming this committee very soon, and the suggestion and view of the honourable members will be taken into consideration. And in view of my assurance, in this August House, I assure the honourable members that together we can find a solution to this problem. Thank you.
Third postpone calling attention, Shri Vijay Sardesai and Carlos Ferreira. Honourable Minister.
Hi.
Yeah.
So I have to speak, then I can speak.
No.
You can discuss.
You speak after. Speaker sir, this calling attention we have moved is about the ineffectiveness of the Goa State Pollution Control Board in controlling the rampant and unabated coal dust and air pollution incidental operations at Mormugao Port. Speaker sir, there was a IIT study conducted a year ago which says that port operations account for 29% of the particulate matter air pollution. Speaker sir, the source study does not measure pollution due to allied activities like transportation of coal via trucks, trains, pollution due to shipping operations. It doesn't do that. But it is obvious that a significant portion of the pollution due to road dust, vehicular emissions, marine aerosols is due to shipping activities in the port. Speaker sir, the quantity of coal handling has also increased. In 2020, the Chief Minister had announced that the amount of coal handling at MPT will be reduced by 50%. However, since 2020, the amount of coal handling has increased by 13.5%. How? 5.5 MMTPA to Southwest Port Limited, 5.3 metric tons per annum to Adani, 1.2 metric tons per annum to MPT. Speaker sir, the report is suggesting for a development of an environment management plan. Now, has the government prepared the plan? The minister will tell me that there are 3 ambient air monitoring equipment, one in Vasco, Upper Jetty, Bogda, all these things. But these are not in the upwind or downwind path from the source of coal pollution, Speaker sir. Therefore, the measurements do not actually reflect the real amount of pollution from the source. Speaker sir, I had asked a question, 15/7/2022, where the government stated that increase in handling of coal may lead to the increase in particulate matter. This is an answer given to me, Speaker sir. So my question is, why is the government supporting such companies? The companies at Mormugao Port Authority owe the state around 210 crore rupees, in which Jindal of Southwest Port Limited owes more than half the amount, 156.35 crores. Speaker sir, on 17th April 2023, our party delegation, along with some activists, met the MPA chairman and submitted a letter that was written by me. I couldn't attend there because my father was serious in the hospital at that time. Speaker sir, the MPA chairman wrote to me on the 12th of May 2023, and he has said that the MPA has given berth number 5, 6, 7 to JSW for 30 years to handle coal and other cargo. Speaker sir, this has come as a revelation to me. The 30 वर्सां खातीर वो issue कोलाचे आनी any settlement now. I don't think I will live this 30 years to see that there will be no coal or reduction in coal in the Mormugao Port Trust. Speaker sir, also this handling is done in an open handling manner. Everybody knows it. Our Honorable Minister Shripad Naik has gone there and made a statement that in the future there will be close handling. But here the MPA says that coal terminal operations are following best environmental practices by handling coal and coke in closed conveyors with in-motion silo loading system of rakes, covering of rakes trucks with tarpaulin. Speaker sir, actually handling is done in an open handling manner. So, what is the solution, Speaker sir? The solution is, one, state government can implement the solution if they have the will. Speaker sir, the matter related to environment is on the concurrent list. So even if an environment clearance is granted to companies, the Goa State Pollution Control Board can reduce the amount of coal handled at the port through its consent to operate terms. Speaker sir, this has happened, and I want to remind the Honorable Minister, whose DP he shares with ex-Chief Minister Manohar Parrikar, that Mr. Parrikar on 14th August 2017 had sent a letter to the then Environment Minister that air quality monitoring reports of the Goa State Pollution Control Board indicate that particulate matter, especially at Southwest Port, exceeds the prescribed limit of present handling capacity. And the Pollution Control Board has already directed the Southwest Port to reduce their present handling by 25%. In such circumstances, it would not be prudent to consider the request made by Southwest Port for increasing in coal handling capacity until the level of particulate matter in Vasco city, as well as it comes within the stipulated standards. Speaker sir, this was when I was a minister in the department, in the government, and Mr. Cabral was my colleague. Speaker sir, in 2017, in response to environment public hearings of Southwest Port, the Goa State Pollution Control Board had made several recommendations, including one, maintaining pile size, that is volume to minimum height specified by the board, washing the underside and tires of trucks prior to exiting from public roads, establishing dust extinction moisture, DEM, relocating the continuous ambient air quality stations to identify areas in the downward directions where most of the effect of pollution is noted. Speaker said the government has failed to ensure that the Mormugao Port Authority implements these measures. Instead, the ambient air quality readings are collected manually, which are giving scope for manipulation. Speaker sir, I think this is done to downplay the effect of pollution and give these companies a clean cheat. So I think, Speaker sir, that in the interest of posterity and for having a clean Goa, we cannot be living in a Goa with pollution. And this pollution is only mainly coming on account of coal. And Mr. Kabral is aware of the letter. If he is not aware of the letter of Mr. Parrikar, then I will place that on the table of the House if he wants it. He had written this letter on the 17th of January 2018 to Mr. Harshvardhan, who was then the Environment Minister of India. Speaker sir, I can also place that letter dated 12th of May 2023, written to be by the chairperson of the MPA, Mr. Vinod Kumar. So, Speaker sir, I make a fervent appeal to the minister to take steps to reduce this and to enforce the guidelines which Parrikar did against these polluting air companies in the Mormugao Port Authority. He has got the powers and he can do it, Speaker sir.
Honorable Member Venzi Vegas. Carlos Ferreira.
Honorable Speaker, this is a serious issue because this is of the pollution which is in Mormugao. And Mormugao pollution is twofold. One is of the coal which we are anticipating from MPT, and the other is of the vessels which come in. Now, the answer which I had got in a question which I had asked was about the monitoring system which was being done. And the answer is, in Vasco, in Panjim, there is a proposal to have a CAA-QMS, that is a continuous ambient air quality monitoring station. IIT Bombay had suggested upwind and downwind outside the MPT gates. So I think that if you are sincere in controlling or making sure that there is no pollution or it's kept within control, if these measurement units are kept outside the gates as recommended, I think that will go in a big way to resolve this problem. Installing this CCA QMS is needed because it connects with the central board, and the central board monitors the air quality nationally, and you get to know what is the particulate matter. You have 10, you have 2.5, you have sulfur oxide and nitrogen oxides. If these are monitored electronically and continuously, because MPT works day and night, so therefore we require to make sure that it doesn't collect manually, and then after it's being fed, then whether those figures are right or wrong becomes very doubtful. As Mr. Vijay Sardesai had pointed out, on 15 July 2022, he had asked a question of how many times there was an exceeding of the particulate matter, and answer was 7 times. If it was 7 times it had been exceeded, that means on 2 continuous days, it has exceeded 7 times. This is as your reply on 15 July 2022. So if that is, then what action has the department taken to either ensure it is brought down or to shut it down? Because if they can't control, then I think the department will step in. I don't say that the moment something crosses, you must immediately shut down. These are industries, people will be affected. But I think we must also look at the lives of the people and the health hazards which will be there. So my respectful submission is, the department has to be more vigilant for collecting data, and then the collection has to be automatic, immediately, promptly acting upon the data which is being received. It's like what we call a live CCTV camera. You can't get up and after 2 days go and see what was the thing which happened 2 days back. You must react and act on the spot. In, I think about 31 states have already joined in for the continuous monitoring. So I request the Honourable Minister to also ensure that Goa goes up on that grid so that we can have continuous monitoring and people can know that they are in safe zones.
Honorable Member Venzi Vegas.
Stand by in support of the calling attention moved by Sri Vijay Sardesai. Speaker sir, we have been watching this air pollution right when we were in school. हांव जेन्ना इस्कुला वयतालो तेन्ना सोण जाणा MPT हे जाग्यार मोर्मुगांव वास्को हिंगा पोल्युशन हाय आहा. हांव सोड्यार शिप बिल्डिंग करपाक गेल्लो. That time also in 1995 the pollution content was same, and we were being seen that there are indicators, sensors घाल्लो आहे. हे sensors चोयल म्हणटरी स्पीकर सर I remember of one thing. एक सोसायटीन एक गार्ड आशिल्लो आनी तो रातचो म्हणटालो जागते रहो म्हूण. आनी 10 वर्स जाली हो अशें म्हणटालो, सगळे सुसेगाद आसताले. 10 वर्सांनी चोर येलो आणि चोर येयलो म्हणटरी सगलो लोक एकठांय जावन रातीको 12 वरांचेर येयलो आणि चोयलो जाल्यार तो सेक्युरिटी गार्ड कुडो ताका दिसती पण पूण 10 वर्सांनी तो जागते रहो म्हणा. सो दिस इज द फॉल्स सेन्स ऑफ सेक्युरिटी स्पीकर सर. कमिंग टू द पॉयंट, हे जे सेन्सर्स आहे, आय डोंट नो वेदर इट इज अ फॉल्स सेन्स ऑफ सेक्युरिटी. हें कॅलिब्रेशन केलां ओ कितें केलां. हांव शिप बिल्डींग कोत तेन्नासून हे सेन्सर आहे. तें कोण चॅक कोता, कॅलिब्रेशन मेकॅनिझम आहा या कितें आहा हें मातशें जाण जाचें. वेदर इट इज अदरवायज इट इज जस्ट लायक अ जागते रहो. सेकंडली हिंग बरयलो आहा, इन केस these parameters exceeds, board issues letters to the concerned authorities such as local bodies, transport, industrial to take necessary action. What is the necessary action they have to take? वाढली जाल्यार कंटेंट वाढलो, कार्बन मोनॉक्साईड वाढले, what is the action you will take? What is that you have done in place? I come from a shipping background. I can give you specific what needs to be done in a cargo hold when there is extra carbon monoxide. So what will people do if carbon monoxide has increased? If a gas content has increased? Do people know what they have to do? So what is the use of these sensors? Because I think we need to find out these solutions because we need to think about Verto air purification systems. We need to think about air purification towers. We are talking about, parameter high zalo, punto parameter sodya high, tintu inhale kottai. We need to now think if should we put some towers there which will purify that air at least if we are unable to stop this movement. So, Speaker sir, this air quality monitoring mechanism जे आहा आमगेले with mobiles जे आहा the CAAQMS मकसदा this needs to be made sure that it is verified time to time and people are given evidence of all these things. ना जाल्यार Speaker sir, we are only monitoring की high कित जाला आणि आम ते inhale करीत आसताय. So this has been continuous process आणि आमी झांकवत उतले आणि हे कंटिन्यू उतले and people will suffer from lung cancer which they are presently in that Murmuga port area, harbor area. मकसदा high cancer victims are surviving over there now.
Shri Viresh Borkar.
Speaker sir, I stand in support of this calling attention. Speaker sir, main म्हणजे जे सांगपाक सोदता ते म्हणजे एअर पोल्युशनाचेर. आमी एअर पोल्युशन जेन्ना उलयता तेन्ना पणजी आमची जी कॅपिटल सिटी आसा इट्स अमंग द फर्स्ट मोस्ट पोल्युटेड सिटी जाल्ली आसा गोंयांत सद्याक स्पिकर सर. आनी अमंग 389 सिटीज इन इंडिया 230चेर येयल्ली आसा. स्पिकर सर आमी केन्ना आयकोंकूच नासलें म्हटलें ह्या वर्सा फेब्रुवारीन तो रिपोर्ट आवट जाल्लो आसा आनी तेन्ना अशें सांगलेलें आसा की इतली पोल्युटेड सिटी जाल्ली आसा. स्पिकर सर आमी जेन्ना सस्टेनेबल समीट हितून पार्टिसिपेट जाता जावं जो आमकां खरें म्हटल्यार डेटा कलेक्ट करपाक जाय ह्या समिटान पार्टिसिपेट जाता अशें ना. डेटा कलेक्शन सारकें जायना. एक्शन प्लॅन फुडलो एक्शन प्लॅन कितें आसतलो. आमची जेन्ना सिटी डिक्लेअर जाली फुडलो एक्शन प्लॅन आजून पर्यंत मिनिस्टरान कांय सांगलेलें ना. स्पिकर सर बजर फायर जो जालो आतां तुमी पयला आसतलें पिल्यान येदो व्हडलो बजर फायर कंपनीक उजो पेटलो आनी तेजे कितलेशे अमावंट पोल्युशन जालें आनी सगळ्याक स्प्रेड जालें. अरावंड 2.5 मीटर रेडियसान ते पोल्युशन स्प्रेड जालें म्हणटा तेजे कितलेशे पयस गेल्ले आसतले. तेजो फुडले कितें इम्पॅक्ट प्लॅन तेजो फुडले मिन्स कोणाक कंपन्सेशन दिवपाक जाय कितें जालो तेजो स्टडी कितें केल्या पोल्युशन कंट्रोल बोर्डान हें कांयच सांगलेलें ना स्पिकर सर. आनी हेजेर खंय ना खंय एक्शन प्लॅन आसपाक जाय. एवरी टायम आमी हांगा उलयता मागीर फुडें कोण काय करना. तेजी टॉक्सीक कितले हें जाल्ले तेका स्प्रेड जाल्ले आसा तें कांयच आजून पर्यंत सांगलेलें ना. स्पिकर सर आतां तुमी पळयता आसतले स्क्रॅपी यार्ड्स आतां गोंयभरांत कितलेशे इनलिगल स्क्रॅपी यार्ड्स आसा आनी ते इनलिगल स्क्रॅपी यार्ड्स उजो पेटयता. हांव फॉर एग्जांपल तुमकां सांगपाक सोदता आमच्या सिटीच्या सायडीकूच मेरशे एक स्क्रॅप यार्ड आसा शेतान घातला आनी तो एवरी डे उजो पेटयता. आमी ब्रिजा वयल्यान गेले अटल सेतू वयल्यान गेले नाल्यार तुमकां सद्दां दिसता आसतलो सांजचे गेले नाल्यार तुमी पळयता. सो असले जे कॅमिकल डिफरंट ती स्क्रॅप यार्डान कितें कितें उडयता आसता टायर उडयता कोण गाडी उडयता कोण प्लास्टीक उडयता सगळें बंद करीत आसता. पोल्युशन कित्याक वाडची ना आनी हेजेर स्टेप कित्याक लागून पोल्युशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड आमी कंप्लेन केल्ली आसा मात आजून पर्यंत हेजेर स्टेप ना. तशेंच आमी पळयता हे जे वाडटे स्क्रॅप यार्ड्स आसा हे गेले ते फावट कोलवाळे थंय उजो पेटलेलो सगळ्याक उजो पेट्टा आमी कंप्लेनी करता सगळें जाता मात डिपार्टमेंट जी एक्शन घेवपाक जाय ती घेयत ना. आनी असो करून जो आमचो एअर पोल्युशन आसा तो वाडत चल्लेलो आसा. म्हाका जाप जाय मिनिस्टरा कडल्यान की हेजे बाबतीन डिपार्टमेंट कितें एक्शन घेता.
ओके श्री अलेक्स लॉरेन्स.
स्पीकर सर पोल्युशनाचें मुगे क्वेश्चन आसलें आनी एक्चुली आमी कॉलिंग अटेंशन घायलें बट कॉलिंग अटेंशन आमगे हेणी मातशें मॉडिफाय केलें कॉलिंग अटेंशन आनी कॉलिंग अटेंशन येयलें तें पोल्युशन फ्रॉम पोर्ट ट्रस्ट म्हूण घालो ना तेणी तुका मातशें फटयलो आनी आतां हें पोल्युशन हें हाडलें
फुटयलो
आं
फुटयलो
तेणें तें हें काडलें पोर्ट ट्रस्ट काडलें आम्ही पोट्रास घ्यायला म्हणून आमकां दिवना स्पीकर सर. एनिवे देर इज नो इश्यू बट इम्पॉर्टंट म्हणल्यार कितें नाव आय रेज द इश्यू. स्पीकर सर IIT मुंबयान केस स्टडी केल्या पोर्ट पोल्युशनाची आणि 28% एअर पोल्युशन दाखयलां वास्कोत. दे हॅव गिवन द स्टडी. आय हॅव रेज्ड इट इन द क्वेश्चन. हांवें क्वेश्चन मागिला, हांवें क्वेश्चन घ्यायला. हांव विचारता वॉट आर द स्टेप्स. हिंगा आमकां एश्युरन्स दिलोलें कोल आनी कोल वाडोवपा नाय म्हणजे कोल हँडलिंग वाडोवपा नाय कोल हँडलिंग पत्ते वाडयलें. आमी इश्यू घेयता आहे रायट फ्रॉम 2012सान हांव पोल्युशनाचेर उलयतां. कोल हब म्हूण आमी बॉब मारताले. आतां आज पासून तें कोल हबा कांय जायना. आमी उलोवन हिंगा एटलिस्ट जस्टीस जाय थिंगा पोल्युशन बंद जावपाक. स्पीकर सर वॉट स्टेप्स आतां आय वॉन्ट टू नो पोर्ट ट्रस्टान कितें केलें तें. वॉट पोर्ट ट्रस्ट हेज डन विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू दीस थिंग्स. whether they have done steps, whether they have taken steps to see that pollution is curtailed. They have taken steps. What steps exactly they have taken to stop it? आता आमगे निलेश बाब काब्राल तो वास्को शिकलोलो. रेजिना मुंडी शिकलोलो. तो जाणा वास्को कितें आहलो ते कितें वर्सां. आज तेका वास्को पत्ते वचपालाय. आनी सी द डिफरन्स. तेका भुरगीं आसतना सगळे भुरगीं आसतना भुरग्यां सारकी कोट्टा कितें आहा तें. आतां तो आतां म्हजे भाशेन मातशें म्हातार जालो कांय ना प्रॉब्लम. बट तेणें पोतून वचून चॅक करचें पडलें. नाल्यार तो म्हाका सदां AC घरान रावता थिंग वचना. थिंग वचपा पडलें तेणें पोल्युशन चॅक करचें पडलें आनी पोल्युशन चॅक करून सांगोवचें पडलें थिंग कितें स्टेप्स घेता. 2018 हांव आय एम रिफरींग वन क्वेश्चन. 2018 5,000 people had respiratory problems in Vasco city, in Vasco, around Vasco. I got a reply from question. Now 2018 5,000 लोक आहलो. आज कितलो आसतलो. आज कितलो चोडलो आसतलो. Because IIT Mumbai has given 28%. They are given, this is a case study. This is not my own figures. This is a case study which they are given. Ata, what will be? तेदो 5,000 जाले आता कांय नाही म्हळ्यार 15-20,000 आसले. So I want from the minister, see it is in the interest of the public. We are here, we are elected representatives. We have to give justice. जालें आमच्यान कितल्या सांगूं जाता. Fact remains facts. What are on ground we cannot change. आमी कितले पेपराचेर बरोवन जाय तें दीत. But facts on ground will be facts on ground. Whatever we do will remain here. What he speak also will remain here. So I want from the minister what he speaks to be on ground. Thank you, Speaker, sir.
Sri Shankar Pawankar.
Speaker, sir. I सगळे जाण हांगा उलयले कॉलिंग अटेन्शनाचेर रिगार्डिंग एअर पोल्युशन आनी तेवूय बीन एट MPD. ही जी MPD आसा ती म्हाज्या कॉन्स्टिट्युन्सीन येता स्पीकर सर मुर्मो गोवा. आनी हांव थंयसरले फॅक्च्युअल कितें परिस्थिती आसा लोकांची ती हांव तुमचे समोर मांडपाक सोदतां. आमच्या मंत्र्याकूय सांगपाक सोदतां. जे एअर पोल्युशन आसा स्पीकर सर हे कितलें सांगले आमकां तें एअर पोल्युशन ना जाल्यार तें सत्य ना. कित्याक एअर पोल्युशन हें थंयसर आसा. लोकांक ते त्रास जाता. जे कोल्ड हँडलिंग थंय जाता तेज्या लागून लोकांच्या घरान जो धुल्लो येता. सकाळच्या घरान उठले तेंच्या मेजाचेर हात ओडले जाल्यार सगळे हातीक कोयसो लागता. म्हाजें ऑफिस थंय आसा. म्हाज्या ऑफिसान हांव पळयता सकाळचो टेबलाचेर हात मारलो जाल्यार आमच्या हातीक सगळो कोळसो लागता. सर कोळशाचें हें पोल्युशन थंयसर मुर्मो गोवान आसा सर. आनी हे जे आमकां सांगीत आसा आतां कितलीं वर्सां जाल्यार आमी आयकता कितें बाबा आतां फुडें जे आसतले कोल आसा ते आमी डोम घालून भितर हँडल करतले म्हणून. आयज पर्यंत थंयसर डोमाचें स्ट्रक्चर स्टार्ट जाल्लेलें ना. आयज पर्यंत ओपनली कोल हँडल करता. त्याच प्रमाणे आमी सगळे जाण कोलाचेर उलयता स्पीकर सर. हांव थंयसरलो स्थानीक असल्या कारणान म्हाका खबर आसा त्या कोला पेक्षा थंयसर डटी कार्गो म्हणटा तो येता तो बॉक्सायड येता, जिप्सम येता. हो एकदम डेंजरस कार्गो जो थंयसर इतल्या लाखांच्या लाखांनी मेट्रीक टन्स थंयसर येता. आनी हे कशें हँडल जाता बाय रोड जाता. हो आमचो बॉक्सायड म्हणटा तो इतलो डटी कार्गो तो बाय रोड ट्रान्सपोर्टेशन जाता. आनी आख्खो कॉन्स्टिट्युन्सीसून वयता आख्खे गोंयसून तो खंय कर्नाटकान वयता. तो बीन बेलगाम इंडाल्गो कंपनी हँडल कोण करता ते डेल्टा म्हणून आसा ते हँडल करता. चेटन कंपनी म्हणून बर्थडे म्हणून आसा हे ट्रान्सपोर्ट करता. हे कोणूच गोंयकार न्हू स्पीकर सर. सगळे भायले लोक येवन थंयसर काम करता आनी पोल्युशन आसा तें आमकां खावचें पडटा. कोल बॉक्सायड हे जे बाय ट्रान्सपोर्ट वयता तो थंयसर रस्त्याचेर स्पिलेज जाता. हो मेन रिजन आसा लोकांच्या घरांनी पोल्युशन वयपाक. कित्याक जो कार्गो रस्त्याचेर पडटा तेजे वयरसून गाडयो गेल्या उपरांत ते फुट्टा कोल जावं या बॉक्सायड जावं ते फुट्टा आनी तो धुल्लो लोकांच्या घरांनी वयपाक लागलेलो आसा. जशें आतां आमकां सांगलेलें आस्थमा केसीस कॅन्सर केसीस कितली वाडलेली आसा मुर्मो गोवा तालुकांत. कितली वाडलेली आसा हांव चॅलेंज करता गोंयान आख्खे चडांत चड कॅन्सर केसीस आमच्या मुर्मगांवान आसा स्पेसिफीक सर हे जे आमचे एअर पोल्युशन जे आमी थंयसर ब्रीथ करता मुर्मगांवचे लोक हे खंय तरी हांव मागता कितें हेजेर सारके खंय तरी बंदी हाडपाची गरज आसा हे सगळे जे इश्यूज आसा ते खंय तरी हँडल करपाची गरज आसा
श्री क्रूज सिल्वा
स्पीकर सर पोल्युशनाचेर सदां उलयलें केन्ना टॉपीक येयला स्पेशली सांजेदी एरियल सांजेदी एरियल इतलें पोल्युशन जाता सगळे सायडीन रेल्वे लायन गेलोय प्लस क्रॅशर्स आहाय इंडस्ट्रीज आहा स्पेसिफिकली हांव जेन्ना डिमांडाचेर उलयता इंडस्ट्री डिटेल सांगलां गोवा कार्बन फॅक्टरीचें थिंगा लोक च्या पिता आसतना धूळ खाता जेयता आसतना धूळ खाता न्हिदता आसतना धूळ खाता आनी तांची हेल्थ पिड्यार जाली आयज मिनिस्टरा कडेन आयज स्पेसिफीक म्हाका एश्युरन्स जाय कितें एक्शन घेतलो तो गोवा कार्बन फॅक्टरीचेर आनी आयज हेजेर चोवपा पासून गेलो जाल्यार तूं आन्सर दिलो तेजे एम्बियंट एर क्वॉलिटी स्टेशन पासून थिंग ना हे दोन इंडस्ट्री आहा इंडस्ट्री भितर घरां आहाय थिंगा पासून एक स्टेशन पासून ना कित्याक हे लोकांक सामकें सोडून दिला आयज म्हाका एश्युरन्स जाय आनी एक आन्सर जाय गोवा कार्बन फॅक्टरीचेर कितें एक्शन घेतलो तो
मिनिस्टर
स्पीकर सर हांवें ऑलरेडी जे आमचे कलीग उलयला तेजे क्लॅरिफिकेशन दिता की continuous ambient air quality monitoring station CAAQMS at Vasco will be operational by the year end. This is assurance I'm giving, which will be monitored in a central portal where you will find whatever is recorded. Now, whether it is downside or outside, technically how it has to be put, the board will decide and put whichever side it has to be put. Speaker sir. Speaker sir, आमी already ते एरिया भितर ऑलरेडी स्पीकर सर अशें कंप्लेनी जाता पूण 5 लोकेशना कडेन आमी घातल्या सर फ्यूज कॉल ऑफिस जे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी डिपार्टमेंट आसा गोल्ड स्मीथ हावस एमपीटी गेस्ट हावस फायर ब्रिगेड स्टेशन आनी खाऱ्यावाडा म्हणजे हे इट इज सराउंड्स द एंटायर एमपीटी एरिया वेर वी हॅव एम्बियंट क्वॉलिटी कंट्रोलाचे जे मशीन आसा ती बसयल्ली आसा आनी स्पीकर सर लेटली एक म्हाका दिसता 6 months or 1 year back, we have now put in that indicative sensor-based stations, which will give live monitoring, indicative-based, which wherever the problem occurs, we will be able to answer. To maintain a CAQMS station is very expensive, and it becomes uneconomical to maintain because it has got a lot of measures. It's not that I'm not saying that it should not be done, but it's very expensive to maintain it. But we have put in the new ones, indicative sensor-based stations, which are of less, they give the same parameters of indicative nature. And these have been set up at, I have answered Dudhsagar, Kolwa, Baga, and one in Kuchare itself, where it gives indicative measures and which shows the Speaker sir the ambient quality of the air. Now we will, as said, Speaker sir, I would like to say that as far as what is the levy of fee which was done based on the board apprehensions of the people, especially Amsa Murmugao MLA jo asa. I remember as 2011 jo CZMP plan asa to final zauna, and all NGT had stopped all developments till this plan was finalized. We have recently finalized the plan. The plan is in operation. Now we have told to put the dome of the entire MPT Army permission dila, where JSW handle karta. So entire area will be put into a dome, which work has started, Speaker sir. And we will be able to cover that particular area and then monitor how this is happening. Because right now, from all these years, people used to shout and the dome thing was never coming into, Speaker sir. So that is why we have insisted on them that they put the dome. Speaker sir, as per allegations made that from 2006 till today, the quantities which were given of 5.5 million tons to JSW and 5.2 to Adani in 2012 have still been maintained. There is no exceeding of those quantities. They are the same. On the contrary, they were below. We kept them below till such times whenever required. Now, what do we do, Speaker sir? Whenever we find these monitoring machines which are there, Speaker sir, we tell these people to stop the handling activities. It is told, and many times our board has stopped activity of handling because of the windward and the directions of the wind, and try to see that nothing comes in the city, Speaker sir. So these are the temporary measures, but permanent measure now they have started, and I think within the next 1 year or 8 months, they are going to put the entire dome for a handling station, and where we are going to monitor. Speaker sir, we are well aware of the situation, what is happening. It is not that there are two types of air pollution, in the sense, whatever ways the board can do of controlling the compliance of air pollution, there are measures which are taken, coal stacks are sprinkled with water, monitoring the dust levels. But a lot of things, what I say also sometimes, whenever we notice, we stop movement of traffic. Even the transport is stopped, Speaker sir, for maybe days together, which Sankalp Bab will be knowing when we stop the transport. It's not that the board is not monitoring. The board is monitoring, and we can assure you that whatever ways of controlling there, we cannot stop it, Speaker sir. Last time also I have told that we cannot stop. But whatever ways and means, now the on-board monitoring, which is then CAA, QMS, is as calibrated as per the CCA, the Pollution Control Board guidelines, Speaker sir. And we have asked them to submit environment management plan, has been sought by both the operators, which they are yet to give. We will follow up and we will see that if they give the environment management plan shortly, or then what we have taken, we will do. And as rightly pointed out by my colleague Vijay Bab, that the IIT study indicated 4 sources of pollutions. It is not only the activity of the coal, it was the activity of the biomass burning, it was the activity of the road dust, the sea salt, the vehicular emission. It is not only the MPT, Speaker sir. So all these things have got equal contribution to this, which is the source appropriation study made by the IIT, Speaker sir. But nevertheless, whatever best we can do, I can assure that the continuous air monitoring station by the end of this year will be online, connected to the Central Pollution Control Board. I will monitor that, Speaker sir. But there has been no increase in the quantities from 2006 or 2012 till today. There is no increase. You can show me which has been given. Only thing, there was an increase. See, increase in a sense, what was given to them at the time of the thing, like 5.5 million tons in 2006 and 5.2 million tons in 2012. In between, because of restriction, we had lowered this. It has never exceeded 5.5 or 5.2. That much assurance I am given. If somebody can prove to me it has increased, we will see, Speaker sir, in the MPT, which is very clear, there is no increase in quantities. But, Speaker sir, only thing is, as I said, the source appropriation study has indicated into all 4 categories of contribution of coal. It is not only the coal which has given this, Speaker sir. I think I have answered it properly.
Speaker sir, specific. एक जेन्ना मंत्री म्हणटा की वाडोवंक ना म्हणून मुख्यमंत्र्याचो स्टेटमेंट आहा हांगा की आपूण 50% रेड्यूस करतलो म्हणून तो गेलो आतां स्टेटमेंट. लेट पीपल नो की हो स्टेटमेंट आमी करूंकूच नाशिल्लो म्हणून सांगा तुमी म्हाका. नाजाल्यार सांगा की हो 2020 स्टेटमेंट केलो तो आमी विड्रॉ करता म्हणून. कित्याक स्पीकर सर तो कितें सांगूंक सोदता तें अशें की आमी देंवयले आनी परते वाडयले, पूण मेन लिमीट आमी दिल्लो तो हाजे वयल्यान वचूंक ना म्हणटा तो आपूण. सो पॉयंट कितें, पोल्युशन जातालें देंवोन पचून. जेन्ना मनोहर पर्रीकारान तांकां लेटर बरयलें तेन्ना ते लिमिटानूच आसून पचून पोल्युशन जाता म्हणटालो तो, स्पीकर सर. आनी आतां संकल्प आमोणकार सांगता, तो थंयचो आमदार सांगता की हें कितें जाता तें, स्पीकर सर. बरें, आतां आमी हें MPTचें सोडया, लेट्स गो टू IDC. आतां लिडर